Alright guys, back on the citation. So I had a delivery today. We got our Delco wires in. This is a Wells WVE. It's Wells Vehicle Electronics. I've had pretty good luck with Wells parts. So we're going to use that cap and rotor set. And I went ahead and marked the cap. So I marked the cap so I know which goes where. And also going to use this on the radiator for the time being. It's not leaking bad, but it's leaking, so just until I can find a radiator for this thing. And I'm going to finally fix this corner piece with this. So thought today, see it's leaking. Thought today I would set the camera up. So this is going to be a little bit of a longer video. And I could show you guys what I'm doing here. You guys can see. So hopefully this doesn't take too long, but I am going to kind of take my time with it because I don't want to mess up this firing order. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these wires. I got a bunch of these aftermarket clips I'm going to use to pretty things up later, but alright, so start removing these wires. I'm going to go ahead and get, this is number 1 back here. Gotta be able to reach it. And number 1 right here. Likes to get stuck on stuff, I guess. Well, doesn't want to come out of there, so we'll have to finagle it somehow or another. Let's see. Stuck on the wiring harness and the transmission cable. I love cars, right? Stuff gets stuck. It's all kinds of stuck in there. There we go. That's number 1. These wires here are brand new. And so I'm going to keep them around, but I prefer to run the Delco products on these Chevys. So keep those. Number 2 is in the front here. It's the very first plug all the way to the left. And vice versa. Number 3 is back middle. Another one of them clips. 4, front, middle. Alright, number 5 is going to be rear all the way to the right. That one is, for the most part, they're not too bad to get to on these cars, which I'm grateful for. I had a Chevy Lumina. I had this 94 Lumina years ago. To do the spec spark plugs and wires, you had to pull this dog bone off and then ratchet the engine forward. It's a pain in the butt. And then you had to put everything back together. It was like crazy extra steps just to do spark plugs. Alright, so that's the wires anyways. That's actually easy. Alright, so next thing you're going to want to do is, actually I messed up already. I gotta go get a socket for this, so I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. So I've got way too long on an extension, but whatever. This is a 6.5 millimeter, these little screws, and they're not on there that tight. They're almost just like hand tight, basically. But you take this little coil that it's called I call it a coil cap because it goes over the coil. And we'll have to fish this other one out of here when we get the distributor cap out of our way, but pull this off. That's all that is, just a cap. That's the coil. And probably be a good idea to unplug your plugs at this point. So there you go. And then I like to do this while the coil or while the cap's still on, because it just makes it easier. But take that same 6.5 millimeter and you loosen up the bolts to the coil. And they're still a little tight, so this. And then take note, you're pulling this coil out, this black ground wire's got to go back in this spot. There's also a piece of the male portion of the plug that you have to put back underneath the coil that is separate from the coil. So you take your bolts out. I like to use a pair of needle nose pliers. It just helps you get the red wire out of its spot and then the yellow wire out of its spot. And then you can just pull this coil right up out of there. You're going to need to reuse that. Then you have a cushion of sorts. and then there's a little button underneath it, and the new one came with a new button and cushion, so we'll probably use that, but make sure you remember that part. And right here is that third piece of the that coil plug. You want to grab that. It gets grounded underneath a screw right there. Okay. Now once you've done that, you're going to get yourself a Phillips head screwdriver. This is a PH3 head on this, and that should make it so that you can undo these tangs quite easily. Tangs are done, then you can pull this cap right up and out of there. And this is the original cap to this car. It's got the barcode on it. And it's in fairly good shape, so I'm going to keep it around. It's got a little bit of wear in there, but not bad. And then you see you have a rotor. So we want to take this rotor off. We use a different screwdriver. I'm not sure what size this screwdriver is, but I know that it fits perfectly in these screws, so I use it. This one's not marked. I'm sure if you go through your bits, you can figure out what size it is. Usually those bits are marked. Take that out. Something else to note, you cannot put these rotors in backwards. They've made it so that there's no way it won't sit flush like it needs to. There's a little tang right here, and it matches with the cap. It sticks out of the end of the cap right there, or the rotor rather. Just to show you guys the difference, this is the old one, kind of beat up, worn out, and this is the brand new one. So hopefully she'll run like $1,000,000 once we get these in here. There again, you have your little notch, so you match that up with your rotor there, and you gotta screw down your screws. Let's get them started. Sometimes they don't want to line up. Like I don't think this one, yeah, that one's not lining up for some reason. So put a nagel with it here. There we go. Now this doesn't need to be like gorilla tight, but you know, just snug. It's plastic, so you don't want to, just snug it down good so it ain't gonna come off. Now you can put your new cap on. So these, we gotta move these these tangs around so that they face outward. Sorry you can't see that part right now. I've never really done a video like this before, so bear with me, guys. So put your distributor cap on, and again, see that little notch cut out right there? That little notch, it fits in this little cutout right here. So you can't screw this up. There's like no way. You just gotta find that right there. Just gotta find that. You gotta find its happy place. Then you take your PH2 driver there and you turn your tangs around. This one's being stubborn. New parts don't want to play ball. Come on. There we go. This one over here is going to protest because there's wires in the way. There. Cap is on. Now, we're going to put our little thing in there that we took out from the plug. Oh yeah, I still need to fish that stupid screw out of there. We'll get it in a second. So you put your little thing in here, and you want to make sure it's in there good. So take my pliers and I just kind of give it a little push. Just want to make sure it's down as far as it can go. And then we'll grab that little screw while we're at it. So we're going to need that guy. Okay. So we got a new rotor button and a new cushion. So we're going to put that in. You want to make sure your rotor button goes in first because it's got to make contact with both the center of the distributor cap and the bottom of the coil. So your button goes in down first. And it's going to stick up a little bit, but once you get the weight of the coil on it, it'll sit down where it needs to. And then you got this cushion. Just stick that right in there. And voila. Make sure it's centered up as good as possible so it doesn't mess up on us. It's kind of being resistant to its new home. Anywho, now we put our coil in. The coil's kind of a tight fit, but that's a good thing. Push your tangs down. Oh, that's what I get for not paying attention. Same thing, take something, make sure it's sitting down where it's good as it can, because you got to plug those plugs back into this. So you want to make sure that those are seated good. Alright, now we can put our screws back in. Alright, just kind kind of get them started. Again, they don't need to be like super tight, they're just holding it in there. You're screwing into plastic, so, and these are particular screws are made to create their own threads into the plastic. So I just kind of, I do a crisscross pattern. I feel like with stuff like this, it's just a good habit to get into. And just snug them. You know, they ain't gotta be crazy tight again. Just snug. There, that's all together. Easy peasy. Now you can put your coil cap, as I call it, back on. You gotta reuse your old coil cap, unfortunately, but that's just the way it is. No big deal. I probably could have taken it in and cleaned it up a bit, but you know, whatever. It serves its purpose. I also have the little ring that goes around the top of that, but I haven't installed it yet. Okay. Coil cap is on. There. Just nice and snug-a-dugga. Now, let's get our wires plugged back in. So your black plug goes in the back, right there, and then this one goes on the battery side. And if you have a tachometer wire, then it would go on this side. This car don't have a talk, so no talk wire yet. I'm going to install an aftermarket talk in this car at some point. I think the next thing to do is wires. These plugs are brand new. I replaced them the other day, so those are good. But let's get some wires going. Okay, so like I said, I marked the cap. That's just easy for me, but to reiterate, your odd number cylinders on these engines are in the back here. If it was a rear wheel drive like an S10, it's going to be the right side of the car. So, anywho, I'll clip this on. I know a lot of people use dielectric grease. I do not. If you look up the definition of dielectric, it basically means no current. So it really robs the current from this. And I get it that it's for waterproofing, but if you take care of how you drive and don't drive through large puddles, like a lot of idiots I see around here, you shouldn't have an issue. So I go underneath this mount for the cruise control. And okay, I'm going to plug it into number 1. I don't know, 2 cents here right in my way. It's hard to get my hand on. Okay, no, not clipped. No, it didn't click. Should hear an audible click. There it goes. All right, next wire. The Next wire is going to be number 2. So it's going to be the next longest wire in your set. Number 2 goes here. You know, these wires they're like extra long for, you know, multiple applications, but I'm gonna attempt to wrap it around here. Let's go under the wiring here, like so. And we're trying to keep it away from hitting the fan or exhaust. We'll hook this one on. That's why I like these Delco wires, man. They really let you know that they're where they're supposed to be, you know? So run this one this way. We'll clip that up when we get the clips and everything going, so it's not running into the fan down here. Next is number 3. So number 3 is right here. Come on, Bubba. No, it's not sitting up in the jacket like it should. It's playing hard to get. Come on, baby. There you go. We'll run number 3 back through the between the bracket and the valve cover here. There we go. And again, we'll have to pretty these up when we're able. These wires are stupid long. They're like really way too long. Okay, number 4. So number 4 is gonna sit right there. I think we're going to wrap it around this way. And there. We'll make it pretty in a minute. Let's get some slack going here. Try going this way. These wires are goofy. Probably should clip on the spark plug side first because it's like harder to do. One's kind of tight. I might have to swap a wire around just so it's not so tight. It's wacky. Anyways, you get the gist. I got this wire is like extra short on this one for some reason, so let's go with this extra long one. Let's just take this off the equation right now so we don't mess up. Take this one off of number 3. I'm going to put this on number 4 right here. And we're going to run this one as number 4. Oh yeah, that's way better. That's way better. go. That's way better. So we'll run this one as number 3 then. Click on. Oh yeah, that's way better. Awesome. Okay, so we are up to number 5 now. Number 5. Come on. Okay, it's on. Didn't make a noise, but it clicked on. And the last one. Okay. So this will be number 6. And simply just goes down here. Alright. So I'll pretty all this up in a bit when I get doing this again, but let's see if this car will start. And we got one more piece we need to throw on here. Because I'm pretty confident I'm correct. So let's put this dumb thing on. If we can. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm just an idiot. Hold on. There we go. That makes more sense. Now you gotta try to fit these into that. It doesn't want to fit. Right. I don't know, this silly thing. I know it goes on here, but you don't want to clip onto the wires. I don't want to take them off of the cab. Alright, so whatever. I hate these things anyway. That's stupid. I actually think it goes on. I really think it goes on this way, but whatever, man. I'm a dummy. Gotta look at the shape. Helps to look at the shape of stuff, doesn't it? See. And then you got to get it to go down and latch. That's not easy to do. what the heck, let's see if we can get it to latch for us here. Get it to go down far enough. There we go. It's like the trick is to get them to kind of line up for you. And then try not to break the dang thing. I just want it to latch. There it goes. And then our plug wires are all in there. Good. Let's go get the keys and we'll see if this dude will fire up for us. Hopefully the camera doesn't fall down when I start it, but we'll see. Well, there we go, guys. I know this was a really long video, but there it is, running. Good to go. Needs motor mounts badly. Look at this shape. Anyways, if you stayed this long, thanks for watching. And we'll talk to y'all on the next one. Bye.